welcome to lesson 92. This is about dividing by two-digit numbers. Now there's nothing to worry about because our division process and steps are the exact same as they have always been for long division. We have divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. The way we remember that is dad, mom, sister, brother. So dad, mom, sister, brother, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So example 1 is what we're going to look at first. I have 150 divided by 12. So I'm going to set it up the exact same way. I have 150 divided by 12. I'm going to ask myself, how many times can 12 go into 15? I know it can only go in once because 12 and 15 are pretty close, and 12 is pretty large. I'm going to put my 1 above the 5 because that says that 12 goes into 15. Please do not put it over the 1. I've seen some of you make mistakes, very simple mistakes, and you put it over the 1, and then we start adding extra digits at the end when we run out of room or when we're done with the problem. Do not do that. Make sure if I'm looking at 15, I'm going to put it over the very last digit. 12 goes into 15 one time, then I multiply. 1 times 12 is 12. That's what I subtract. So I'm on the subtraction step right here. 5 minus 2 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. So I subtract. Now I'm going to bring down. There's my 0. How many times can 12 go into 30? Now, if I don't know that right away off the top of my head, I can use a little trick. Now, with 12s, most of you are pretty great with 12s and no multiples. But I can just look at the ones place and say, well, I have a 1 here, or I'm sorry, the tens place. I look at the first digit, I have a 1 here, I have a 3 here. 1 can go into 3 times. But since this is exactly 30, I'm going to go ahead and do 2. Now, I know the answer is 2, but that's at least a great place to start. And it's okay to have to multiply and try a few times, but I do want you to show your work. I don't want you to say, oh, it's going to go in 3 times, because 1 can go into 3 times, and then just guess what 12 times 3 is. I want you to show your work. Then if it's too big, go number down. So that's how I want you to approach these two-digit problems, especially since you're not as familiar with the multiples that we are going to be coming across. So I'm going to show my work just off to the side. I like to do it here since I already have the 12 set up. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. So 12 times 2 is 24. It does go in 2 times. I can't get any closer. Minus 24. 30 minus 24 is 6. And that is my remainder. So 12 remainder 6 is my answer. Now for example 2, now we're looking at a slightly larger number. I have 987 divided by 32. Let's see, we'll use the black marker here. I'm going to say, how many times can 32 go into 98? Again, I don't know my multiples of 32 off the top of my head. However, I have a 3 and a 9 as my first digit that I'm looking at. And I know 3 can go into 9 3 times. So I'm going to just try off to the side. Notice I'm going to show my work. I'm not going to just guess in my head. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 96 is close to 98, and I'm not going over. So 32 goes into 98 3 times. Notice how quick I did that just by looking at my first digit. I'm still dividing, though, 32 into 98, so I'm putting it above my 8. Minus 96. 8 minus 6 is 2. 9 minus 9 is 0. After I subtract, I bring down. Now, how many times can 32 go into 27? Well, it can't because 32 is greater than 27. So I put my 0 above the 7. If it can't go in, don't forget your 0 with the digit after you bring down. Then that's multiplying. 0 times 3 is 0, so minus 0. And after I subtract, after I subtract, I can't bring down anymore, so I'm done. Now this is my remainder. 30, remainder 27. Now I know some of you have asked questions about having such a large remainder, and 27 is okay to have as a remainder. As long as your remainder is smaller than your divisor, then that is perfectly okay. If this were 34, I know something would be wrong and I need to go back and divide again because it could go in more times. So as long as your remainder is not larger than your divisor, we're perfectly okay. So for your practice set problems, I'm only going to have you do letters A, B, and C since this is long division with 2-digit numbers, so it may take a little bit more time. We have 253 divided by 11. This one should be slightly easier because multiples of 11. And we have 253 divided by 21 and 403 divided by 31. I'll be checking your work for participation grade. Thank you very much for paying attention.